You are listening to the CWL podcast. Are you ready? Hey everybody, it's Kate. I am the host of the Creative Women's League podcast. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We accidentally took a hiatus from Mindful Mondays. It's a really long story, so I'm not going to get into it, but I'll just tell you that there was an incident with some episodes that I had recorded. They got messed up. It was all fudged, and I was deathly sick at the time. It was when I had that sinus infection and allergies that felt like strep that went on forever. I was so tired. Oh, it hurt so bad. And then I was moving. So it was crazy. I laid in bed extremely sick, thinking to myself, what am I going to do about this? And I really just didn't do anything about it. I know that's horrible, but I was too sick to do anything about it at the time. And even though I had had episodes all recorded, it just didn't work out. So I thank you so much for allowing me to take that time and get back on it now. Those episodes are fudged forever, so you won't be hearing them, but I'll re-record them because I really liked the concepts within them. So I'm going to re-record them for you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today. You know that the Creative Women's League is here for motivation, inspiration, know-how, and community. I love sharing these things with you every day. Wednesdays, we have inspiration with a new creative badass being interviewed every week. And then motivation, that's Mondays right here. And you guys love these episodes. That makes me feel so good. I never knew that anybody would actually care what I have to say. But I love working through Mondays with you guys. We get in the mindset. I've heard from a lot of you that it really helps you for the week. And I just can't even put into words how blessed I am for that. Community, of course, I want you to go join us on Instagram at Creative Women's League and in the Facebook group, Creative Women's League. Just search it on Facebook. You can like the page and you can join the group. I truly love getting to know you guys. I just realized, honestly, even as I'm saying it, how many of you I feel like I genuinely know. How many of you I have watched your businesses flourish. I've watched amazing things happen for you. All the hard work you're putting in. So thank you so much. Thank you for cluing me into this by using the hashtag Creative Women Rock, by getting involved on the Instagram. I love it. I really love it. I actually leave for Bernina University this Wednesday. I am excited and nervous and I feel so lucky that I get to go do this. It will be my first BU ever. So, if you have any tips or tricks, go ahead and let me know. And this episode actually has roots in Bernina because I was listening to Gabby Bernstein's book, The Universe Has Your Back, while I was flying to Aurora, Illinois. I had dropped this book a long time ago. I did not like it. It was not for me. But when you are on a limited budget, you can't afford a new book because you've been very strict about your spending. I started to cycle back through some of the old books I had had in my phone. I saw this one and thought I'd give it another try. So I start listening to The Universe Has Your Back. Suddenly, I don't know what the hell I was talking about. I'm obsessed with the book and it's really hitting me right place, right time. Isn't that funny how that can happen? You access something at one point and you think, I was in the air panicking because I realized, holy crap, I'm on the way to work with Bernina. This is such a big deal. I have not acted like it's a big deal. Am I properly prepared for this? What if I make a fool of myself? I'm so scared. It really just all hit me at once, all the feelings. This is about the same time that Gabby started talking about signs from the universe. You choose a sign from the universe, and that sign is going to let you know that you're on the right path. You're headed in the right direction. This is where the universe wants you. You are doing great, kid. So I really liked this idea. I've never been a religious person, and I wouldn't say I was a spiritual person, even though now I'm fully accepting of my spiritual, woo-woo, faith-based, anything, however you want to say it. I'm much more accepting of divine power. Fuck you. Are you serious? And as I say this, By the way, I'm shocked. I look down and it's 11:11 p.m. That gives me the chills. Okay, sorry. I'll go back. We'll go back to that. We will go back to that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, a sign from the universe. That is so freaking weird that it's 11:11 p.m. and I look down at the clock for the first time. Okay. So I'm listening to the book and Gabby says, choose your sign from the universe. The first thing you think of. So the first thing I think of is skulls, but I don't think that counts. It just doesn't feel right for me. I have skulls on everything. Dresses, bags, jewelry, t-shirts, even Alfie's leash has skulls on it. So it's more something that people would put in my path for me, if that makes sense. I'm more likely to run into it. Instantly it hits me. Hummingbirds. You love hummingbirds and nobody really knows that about you. Maybe bumblebees. No. Hummingbirds. Let's do hummingbirds. So anyway, I am at Bernina and I can't share details about what happened at Bernina, but the first thing I am handed has a bumblebee right on it. And I got the chills. My eyes were huge. I freaked out. The first thing I was handed working for Bernina was a bumblebee. But I didn't choose a bumblebee technically. I chose a hummingbird. So I walk out. In the Bernina Creative Center, they have lots of embroidery designs and the machines out there and fabric and just some wonderful things you can peruse and buy. I turn over a embroidery disc and my eyes go straight to the hummingbird on the back. But this doesn't work for me. I'm like, no, I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. We had this embroidery disc at the quilt shop when I worked there. That's what it's got to be, right? I knew that there was a hummingbird. Maybe that's even why I chose it. I question it to the moon and back, but I still take a picture and send it to people and say, well, there's my hummingbird. But in the back of my mind, that wasn't enough for me. So it wasn't until the next day. The first thing I am handed, it has a hummingbird right on it. My second day. Okay, now that's weird. This was something I didn't know was coming. I couldn't possibly know was coming. And there it is, a hummingbird smack on the middle of the packaging. What the hell? I freak out completely. So I've always hung with a cynical group. That was part of my problem. I've always been a positive person who was drawn to very cynical, honestly quite assholey people. The disparity between who I wanted to be and who I think I naturally am, which is a positive, excitable, I think I'm kind of naive too. That person and the people I maybe wanted to be or admired that were, arrogant and rude and very pessimistic. They would say it's silly that I believe that I could have manifested these signs from the universe that say I'm going to be okay and I'm doing the right thing. Listen, I chose a hummingbird, but there are signs all around you every day. Things that come to you. You can choose one. It can be a color. It can be an animal. It can be a fruit. It could be a word. It could be a number. Whatever you want it to be. I have a friend, Emma, who said, every time I walk under a light outside, it flickers and turns off. I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard until I walked down a street with her, and a good 25% of lights overhead flickered and turned off for her. I said, does it freak you out? And she said, no, it makes me happy. What? It was just a nice little sign from the universe. Lights always turning out overhead. Now that would have scared the crap out of me. That's why it's not my sign. I don't like when lights flicker over my head. But this worked for her. My sister's been going through a very rough time. She sent a song to my mom and I that said, I'm driving down Eldridge Avenue. Tori has since moved in with Brad and I. We all three live in a home together. That's who we all just, and it's felt wonderful. It's felt beautifully productive for all three of us. I think we really hit the gold mine here. And wouldn't you know, we're on Eldridge Street. You can say it's silly. That's fine. But choosing something to make you feel better can't be silly. It's just not. Worst case scenario, it is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It is all stupid, and I will go to my grave finding out that these were not signs from the universe. I was just seeing what I wanted to see in the mundane. But how could that be bad? What is wrong with that? The other night, we were all getting dinner together. I was cooking for everybody, which I love. I was so excited. I had carefully chosen a meal. I was walking from Tori's room to tell her that dinner was ready when I noticed our living room was glowing green. I mean, glowing. I actually said out loud, "What the hell is that?" I walked in. As I do, I realized, oh, it's the TV. I turn to see a hummingbird on the screen surrounded by beautiful green leaves. The hummingbird was screaming at me to come in and check it out. I wouldn't have looked otherwise. There's no way I wouldn't have cared, but it was just a wonderful sign. I said out loud, "Yeah, I see you. I'm excited too." Because that's what it felt like in that moment. You have to listen to the signs and see what's going on with them. If you believe in God, it's God. If you believe in the universe has your back. Spirit guides? Yep, sure. A funny coincidence that makes you feel great? Perfect. I don't care what you call it, but I want you to choose a sign that everything is going to be okay, that you're on the right path, that you're headed in the right direction. Maybe you already have a sign, like Emma with her lights. Maybe you need to choose it, like me with the hummingbird. I'm going to include in the show description Gabby Bernstein's blog post about choosing your sign because she knows more about the woo-woo and the universe and the faith than I do. All I can tell you is that in my experience, it has been wonderful to find these hummingbirds and acknowledge the universe. One of the funny things that happened was that night at Bernina University, I came home, and by home, I obviously mean the hotel. I came back to the hotel and I was listening to the book when she was talking about how ones are a sign from the universe that things are going great. So if you see a succession of ones, the universe is giving you a finger guns. They're giving you a big double thumbs up. I meditated about my day, and when I got done, it was 11:11. Exactly why I yelled. Because the one time I have looked down this whole time at the clock was at 11:11. So weird. The signs are there. Listen to them. I know some of you are rolling your eyes, and that's okay. Try it out. Remember, if it makes you feel good, it's not harming other people, tearing somebody else down, then what is the harm? Now, I have got to shut up because this episode is going so long because I feel so passionate about it. But if you have amazing signs from the universe, from God, from your spirit guides, however it makes you the most comfortable to talk about it, I want to know about it. I've really been feeling it recently. I have about 8,000 examples of how I know I am on my right path. Head on over to Instagram at Creative Women's League and let me know what your sign from the universe is, what your spirit guides have been telling you, how God has been guiding you. I want to hear about it. You can also join the Facebook group, Creative Women's League, and let me know that you think this is utter BS. You don't believe it. It won't make you feel better, and you're not doing it. Whatever it is, I just want to hear from you. See if you've had any moments like this, or if you think it's utter nonsense. But I'll tell you, every time I have seen a hummingbird since, I have taken note of the situation. I have tried to understand what I'm doing, how I'm feeling at that moment, and then I just kind of say out loud, "Yeah, I hear you." Man, it makes me feel good. I love you so much. We will be back Wednesday with a new wonderful episode of the Creative Women's League. I'm so excited to hear from you guys. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. you're still here? It's over. Go home.